students, welcome you video series designed for you for the class TY BCom subject International Economics. The first topic is introduction. In today's video, we discuss the first subunit meaning and scope of international economics. International economics is a distinct branch of economics. It is extremely relevant contemporary globalized economic system, while other branches of economics focus on individual or domestic level. International economics analyzes on international levels. International economics is a field of study that deals with trade between countries. It studies economic, political issues related to international trade and finance. There are two broad subfields within international economics. The first is international trade, second is international finance. International trade involves the exchange of goods and services and other factors such as labor and capital. International finance studies the flow of financial assets and investment across the border. Now, some important definitions of international economics. First definition, international economics refers to a study of international forces that influence the domestic conditions of economy and shape of the economic relationship between countries. Now the second definition, Sir Roy Harrod, international economics is concerned with all economic transaction passage across the national frontier. International economics is divided into two parts, namely theoretical and descriptive. Theoretical international economics, it deals with explanation of international economic transactions in institutional environment. Theoretical international economics is further grouped into two categories. Number one, pure theory of international trade. Second, monetary theory of international finance. Now, first one, pure theory of international trade. It involves microeconomic part of international economics. Its contents include the same tools that are used in microeconomics. For example, demand and supply analysis, consumer firms, and different market structures. Now, the second is monetary theory of international finance. Now, this theory is also relates with macroeconomic analysis. It focuses on interrelationships between aggregate economic variables such as GDP, unemployment rate, inflation rate, balance of payments, exchange rate, interest rates, etc. It studies aggregate effects of government monetary and fiscal policies, causes of disequilibrium in balance of payment, international monetary system, and international liquidity. Descriptive international economics is the second part of international economics. It deals with institutional environment in the international transactions take place between countries. Descriptive international economics also studies related to international flow of goods and services, financial and other resources. In addition, it covers the study of international institutions such as IMF, World Bank, WTO, and UNCTAD. Now, the next aspect of this point is scope of international economics. The scope of international economics is wide. It includes various concepts such as globalization, gains from trade, balance of payments, and foreign direct investment. Apart from this, the impact of various government restrictions on production, trade, consumption, distribution of income are covered in the study of international economics. International trade, international finance, international monetary economics, international political economics, international trade policy, foreign exchange market, exchange rate determination are important aspects of the scope of international economics. Broadly, the subject matter of international economics can be categorized into 8 broad groups. Number one, international trade theories. It contributes the theoretical aspects of trade like reason of trade, gains from trade, impact of trade on economic activities, factor and product prices. The classical economist Adam Smith developed theory of absolute cost advantage. David Ricardo developed the theory of comparative cost, and Swedish economist Hector Ohlin developed the theory of factor endowment. J.S. Mill developed theory of reciprocal demand. They think international now the modern economists have not developed separate theories of trade. They think international trade is extension of domestic trade. These theories helps us to understanding the factors leading international trade. Now the second study area, international trade policy. This area deals with international rules and regulations regarding the flow of transactions. International economic studies different trade policies such as free trade policy, policy of protection. International trade policy is actually in the form of multinational trade agreements negotiated between two or more than two countries, for example, NAFTA and Trans-Pacific Partnership. Now, the next study area, balance of payments. The balance of payment is the record of all international trade and financial transactions made by countries' residents. Balance of payment gives an idea about external position of a country. The balance of payment has three components. Number one, current account. Number two, the financial account. And number three, the capital account. Now, current account measures international trade, net income on investment, and direct payments. The financial account describes the change in international ownership of assets, and the capital account includes any other financial transactions that don't affect the nation's economic output. Now, the fourth study area is balance of payments adjustment. With the progress of transaction, sometimes either the credit or debt may be outweigh the other side. It will lead the imbalances in balance of payments. This situation is normally coined as balance of payment disequilibrium, which demand correction either automatically or extremely imposed by government. Now the fifth study area, international organizations. International trade is a complex activity involving multiple countries, currencies, commodities and capital flow across countries. Hence, it requires separate rules and regulations. It should be monitored by international level organizations such as IMF, World Bank, WTO, and UNCTAD. Now, the sixth study area, foreign exchange market. Foreign exchange markets are institutional framework for the exchange of one national currency for others. Foreign exchange market determine the exchange rate for global currencies. It includes all the aspects of buying, selling, exchanging currencies at current or determined price. In terms of trading volume, it is the largest market in the world, followed by the credit market. Now, 7th point, exchange rate determination. Foreign exchange rate is the rate at which one currency is exchanged for another. There are two methods of foreign exchange rate determination. One method falls under gold standard mechanism and another method fall under the classical paper currency system. Today, gold standard method does not operate. All countries have a paper currencies not convertible to gold. Under inconvertible paper currency system, there are two methods of exchange rate determination. The first is known as purchasing power parity theory, and the second is known as demand supply theory. Presently, exchange rates are determined through demand supply theories. And the last scope is international capital market. International capital market is that financial market or world financial center where shares, bonds, debentures, currencies, hedge funds, mutual funds, and other long-term securities are purchased and sold. International capital market is group of different countries' capital markets. They associated with each other with internet. They provide the place to international companies and investors to deal in shares and bonds of different countries. International economic studies issues arising from the international capital markets. First issue, functioning of the global asset markets, and the second, foreign borrowing by the developing countries. That's it.